What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video I'm going to be ranking the worst to best NYCC 2022 exclusives from Funko.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
So how I'm going to be doing this video today is that I'm going to be talking about every single exclusive by Funko. That's the Pops, the sodas, even the announcements made by Loungefly, since that company is owned by Funko. And I'm going to start off what I feel is the worst exclusive for the con and go one by one until I reach to what I feel is the best exclusive for New York Comic Con 2022. And let's start off with what I feel is the worst: the Pizza Rat and the Polly Pigeon Pops. Now, I put that in that exact order because I feel I do like the Polly Pigeon a little bit better because it gives off more of the vibes of New York Rangers colors, which I did do that in a prediction video where I would say it was more of a hockey-based colors this time for the colorway for Polly Pigeon. While with the Pizza Rat, I do like the way that it looks, except I can tell with the pizza that it's Hawaiian, and Hawaiian features pineapples, which I strongly dislike pineapples on pizza. Non-flocked Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly, and then flocked Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly. These pops are a little weird, and I mean, it does make sense for Comic-Con, but I do feel these should have been more of a limited piece because I don't know how many people are actually going to get these pops. And why did they make a non-flocked version and a flocked version for the same exact convention? The Polaroid Land Camera. Now, this is a little weird because it's under the Retro Toys lineup, and especially because I don't consider a camera a toy per se. But I do respect the fact that they had the two different buttons as the eyes. Karu and Hikaru from Ouran High School Host Club. These look a little weird, especially because they look exactly the same in terms of the molding, except I think the patch on the jacket there is switched up. I'm not exactly sure whether these are twins, but these aren't really that appealing to me, especially for anime pops. The Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons crossover of the Vecna 2-pack. Now, at first I was gonna put this as the worst exclusive for New York Comic Con because I thought it was the exact same mold as the singular pops they did, but they switched up the molding just a little bit with the hand positioning, I believe, and I think they actually changed to add a cool little base with the Dungeons and Dragons Vecna, which is why I'm giving it a little bit higher up on the list, is because of the way that they changed Vecna compared to the original one. But with the Vecna from Stranger Things, it's still an ugly looking pop like the normal one. The Phoenix Soda, this one is a little meh. They just switched up the colors for both the suit and the eyes. It's not even glow in the dark, which I find weird. Kayla from Jurassic World. This to me is just like a simplistic human pop, especially for a lineup where the most detailed pops of the set are the dinosaurs. So if they would have done a dinosaur for this set, it would have shot up much higher on the list than what Kayla is right now. Uhtred from The Last Kingdom. Now, although this is for a series that just ended on Netflix, I believe, and that this is the first for that licensor, I do feel it's a little bit simplistic, and I feel if they do make more pops down the line, there might be better ones than what we have here for New York Comic Con. The Frankenstein Pop Mask. Now, although I'm not entirely the biggest fan of the Pop Mask, I do like the idea of Frankenstein because New York Comic Con, it's closer to Halloween, it gives off that Halloween effect. The Boba Fett mini backpack and wallet from Loungefly, which is the first Loungefly product we are talking about. The bag and wallet is pretty cool. I always enjoy what Loungefly can pull off. But out of the backpacks, obviously, this is the more simplistic one where you have essentially Boba Fett's helmet with that colorway, and then the wallet is the same as the bag, which I'm always a fan of when Loungefly pulls off different wallets with the bag and they both go together, but overall, it's still pretty cool. The 3,000-piece Glitter Zero and Bag Bundle. The pop is alright. I do get why they did it because of Zero being a ghost dog and that the white sparkles kind of give off a nice effect, but I think what really made this pop go high up is the fact that it's a pop and bag bundle and that the bag looks really nice. The Ultra Instinct Goku pops, more specifically going first, would be the signed version on the left and then the Kamehameha on the right. We've seen a lot of Goku pops as it is, not only for Comic-Cons, but just in general for Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z, so to see more, especially for Comic-Con, I mean, you could have replaced both of these for a different anime licensor, like, let's say, My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer, which did not have exclusives for New York Comic Con, which was a little bit surprising. Notorious B.I.G. with the gold suit and fedora. The outfit is really nice, but at the same time, this is like the 10th Notorious B.I.G. pop, and I'm a little bored of Notorious B.I.G. I would have rather seen a different pop, especially a new musician per se, or artist, for the Rocks lineup. B2EMO from Star Wars Andor. Now, this looks looks okay. I'm interested to see this Droid 1 and/or releases, so I got a little bit of personal reaction for that. The overall design is pretty cool, but at the same time, I don't see myself getting this pop at all, whether I would see this in the series or not. Clarabelle Cow for the Disney lineup. This is not too bad of a pop. We had the soda, now we have the pop. It's very simplistic but detailed at the same time, but once again, I don't see myself getting this at all. The 3-liter Maleficent as Dragon Funko soda figure. The Funko soda figures, especially the 3-liter forms, are pretty cool. I haven't gotten a 3-liter form yet because they have not arrived in Canada at all, so it's a little hard for me to get these 3-liter forms, but Maleficent and kind of the Disney villains lineup isn't really my specialty as terms to collecting anything Funko for, so I'm not entirely interested in this soda per se, which is why it's kind of low on the list even though it's a 3-liter soda. The Statue of Liberty from Spider-Man No Way Home. I do see where Funko was going with this because of obviously the scene involving the Spider-Mans attacking the villains on top of the Statue of Liberty, but I felt like this would have shot up higher on the list if maybe they would have actually made this a much bigger pop, maybe a 10-inch, maybe an 18-inch, just to give off more of the effect of the sizing between obviously a human and of course the Statue of Liberty. The Rubik's Cube for the Retro Toys lineup. I do like this much better than the Polaroid land camera because this is more of a toy than the Polaroid land camera, and I mean, I do like where the placing of the eyes and the mouth is, but at the same time, once again, not entirely a fan of seeing, you know, arms and feet on a Rubik's Cube per se. Merida from Brave. Brave isn't entirely one of my favorite Pixar movies. I mean, if you can look to this side of me, you can see what my favorite Pixar movie of all time is, but I do like this much better than the Disney Gold Princess pop of Merida. I think they did a much better job with this. It's a different outfit, but this will 100% not be coming into my collection. The Jon Stewart Funko soda from Green Lantern. We've seen a Green Lantern soda before, I believe. Actually, I think no, just one. I was just thinking of the fact that the chase was White Lantern, so I was thinking Green Lantern, White Lantern. So we've seen one Green Lantern soda before, but now we have another one. And I mean, it looks okay. The glow is probably gonna look great for the chase, but I'm not gonna end up getting this soda. Itadori with glasses from Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't really been entirely a fan of the Comic-Con exclusive Jujutsu Kaisen pops because they've all been Itadori and they all kind of look similar to the other Itadori pops that we had gotten announced during Funkoween. This one I kind of like a little better because it gives, in my opinion, even though I've not seen the series, kind of like a comic relief, I guess I would say, because he's holding a bag of popcorn, it looks like an ice cream, and he's wearing cool glasses, so it's a little bit of a twist. Even though I have not seen the series yet, it looks more appealing to me than the SDCC one we got. Second form Cell from Dragon Ball Z. This one looks cool, but a little weird at the same time. It looks cool because obviously the way that Cell looks and the detail involved with the whole molding and the paint involved, but it looks weird because A, the mouth that's involved and how it kind of looks like he could be a cast member of Gumby, and then the fact of what's going on at the tip of his tail there, you know, that kind of looks like, you know, and I guess I'll just end it off by saying, at least he's protected. Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. Now, although this is very plain and simplistic, I do like some of the detail involved, especially how you can actually see what's underneath Nick Fury's eye. But like I mentioned with Uttred earlier, I feel like that once there are more Secret Invasion pops in this case, there's going to be much better pops than what we have here for NYCC. The Kaboom Cereal Clown for the Ad Icons lineup. There was once the Funko Soda for FunCon last year, and now we have the Funko Pop, which is really cool. I like the detail involved, especially with him holding the umbrella and the bowl of cereal. Overall, I think it's a really cool ad icon, and it's much better than getting, once again, another McNugget pop for the McDonald's lineup. Professor Owl for the Disney lineup. I really enjoy the detail involved with this Funko Pop, whether it's the coloring involved or it's just the posing that's just very simplistic but gets to the point of Professor Owl there. I think they did a really cool job. They made the soda, now it's a pop, so it's really cool to see it in pop form. The Blacklight Grape Ape Soda from the Grape Ape Show. I think this is now the third Comic-Con this year we have gotten some sort of Blacklight Hanna-Barbera character, which I mean, some of the colorways look pretty cool, some of them look meh. Like, I mean, we had the Huckleberry Hound that looked pretty decent, and then you had the Yogi Bear, which I thought was really cool, but this one is, I guess it's okay. I mean, I like the colorways obviously, but I still do find it odd, unless it was just a mistake on the glam shot, that the Chase figure is what's advertised on the can and not essentially the common figure. Roger Rabbit with kisses from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The way that they did this Funko Pop is really cool. I do enjoy the fact that obviously they took the Chase version of the Funko Soda and they made it into pop form. Considering that the Funko Pop, the original one for Roger Rabbit, is super expensive, this is an easy, accessible one for people to get instead. Groot from I Am Groot. I like the detail involved with this pop. I'm not entirely a big fan of the Groot shorts. I watched all of them. I think there's 5 episodes with 5 minutes in each of them. The detail's not too bad, but I kind of do like the ones that were in the Marvel Collector's Core box more than what we have here for NYCC. Otherwise, it probably might have been maybe a couple spots higher up on this list. Aquaman for the DC Comics lineup. I do enjoy the way that this Aquaman looks, and it's a little bit of a refresher because I believe a lot of the Aquamans we've gotten are for, let's say, any of the DCEU movies, whether it's Aquaman, Justice League, movies like that, instead of focusing in on more of the comic book versions. We have seen a couple, but this one looks pretty decent. I like the posing, especially how it's on a stand. The Nickelodeon Avatar mini backpack from Loungefly. Although there's not really much going on with the backpack, there is at the same time where you have kind of the earth, wind, water, and fire involved with the different characters on the front of the bag. But at the same time, I don't collect Loungefly bags, and if you've watched these videos before that I've done, I've basically explained my reasons of the fact that they are tiny backpacks. If I were to put the straps on, they would literally snap. Coach Beard from Ted Lasso. I enjoy this pop much better than the Ted Lasso from SDCC, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, not to really spoil the best and worst for SDCC, I think that Ted Lasso was actually on the bottom of that list. So for that to be at the bottom of the list and then have this one be, I think at this point we're near the middle of the list, is really nice. I like the attention to detail involved. I'm really curious to see what's going on in this scene and makes me intrigued to go watch the series after seeing what this Funko Pop looks like. The Eric Draven soda from The Crow. Now this is a pretty cool looking soda. I mean, there was the Funko Pop back in the day, but it shot up in price a long time ago, and now we have it in soda form. Not really much different for the Chase because of the fact that obviously with the Chase he's holding a crow, which is why it is at the place that it's at, because I felt like maybe they could have done something a little bit more with it instead of just adding a piece to it. The Shuri Funko Soda from Black Panther. This one's pretty cool. I mean, the upcoming movie of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it's understandable that they are going to make a Shuri Funko Soda. And I do like the idea that it's glow in the dark because originally I thought it was going to be metallic, especially in my Winter Convention 2022 exclusives predictions video. That obviously this is not true for that because it is an NYCC exclusive. I like the glow in the dark aspect and the different colors that glow besides possibly just one color like it could have been. I guess continuing on with the more Black Panther theme is the T'Challa Star-Lord bag and wallet bundle from Loungefly. This is super detailed. I really enjoy the way this backpack looks, where you basically have the head of Star-Lord T'Challa, and then especially with the wallet, it is a little bit different because it is the chest piece of T'Challa Star-Lord instead of, let's say, you put the face once again on the wallet, which is why I would definitely like it much more than the Boba Fett backpack we talked about earlier. Harry Potter with the Gryffindor sword and the Basilisk Fang. Now, although I see where this scene is coming from, and I was hoping that Funko was going to do something involved with this scene because it is the 20th anniversary of Chamber of Secrets this year, I just find it a little bit off because I feel like they could have done something a little bit better, maybe even made it more in a deluxe form where he's actually stabbing the diary with the Basilisk Fang and then just cut the Gryffindor sword completely from this pop. Red Superman from the DC Comics lineup. This one's a little meh. We seen at Festival of Fun last year the blue version. Now we have the red version. So if you already have the blue version, it's cool to get the red version, but it was just not that appealing to me because we've seen that blue version already. Neville Longbottom with Pixies from Harry Potter. Now this was a pretty funny moment in the Chamber of Secrets when they're in the one class there and the Pixies grab Neville. I really like that, especially because we don't have that many Neville pops compared to, let's say, Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione. So it's cool to see more characters instead of just the 3 main characters be made into Funko Pop form, especially for Comic-Con. Star Sapphire from Green Lantern. I enjoy the posing that's involved with this pop. I like the way the hair mold is, and especially the kind of energy that's going around it, making it more of a deluxe pop when it's actually just a normal 4-inch pop. So I do enjoy the colors and the design of the pop overall. Swamp Fire from Ben 10 Alien Force. It's really cool to see a Ben 10 Funko Pop, although it would have been really cool to see Ben 10 himself in Funko Pop form. Maybe Funko is waiting to do that in like a common wave and and then they make a character like Swampfire into a Comic-Con exclusive, which I do respect that decision if that's the case. The Peter Pan Skull Rock Mini Backpack. This thing is very colorful, and I do enjoy the artwork that is on there. I think they did a really cool job with this backpack. But once again, I don't collect Loungefly products, which is why it's not way higher on the list. Speaking of Peter Pan, Smee with Skull Rock Pop Town. I really enjoy this, although I'm not going to put it into my Funko Pop collection. I do like the fact that you got a Pop Town and then kind of a Pop Ride involved in one, which is not really been done before by Funko, which is why I really enjoy this pop. Mona Lisa Saperstein from Parks and Recreation. I'm really enjoying what Funko is doing with Parks and Recreation this year. It's really cool, especially with the abundance of new characters being made, especially when you have John Ralphio's sister be made into Funko Pop form. It goes well with that John Ralphio pop that I believe was in a 2-pack for Emerald City Comic Con in, I think it was 2018, I believe. I could be wrong. The Frightmare on Fun Street t-shirt. This one is a really cool t-shirt considering that I like the idea of Funko adding a big logo on the front and nothing on the back, unlike a lot of the t-shirts they've done in the past where it's just a tiny logo on the front and a big logo on the back. Really enjoy the design of this shirt. The 3-liter Juggernog soda from the Marvel lineup. This one was a little bit more appealing than the Maleficent one I talked about earlier, mainly because Juggernaut is a character you don't really think of off the top of your head, especially for Marvel. So in that 3-liter form, it makes sense for Juggernaut to be made into that form for Funko Soda. But I feel like they could have done something a little bit better for the chase, in my opinion, instead of just making it partially unmasked with the same molding and posing. Halloween Kelly Kapoor from The Office. Now I knew I had to put this one a little bit higher up than obviously Mona Lisa Saperstein because of the fact that I am a bigger fan of The Office than I am of Parks and Recreation, but it's not entirely at the top of the list like most of the Office pops for Comic-Cons usually are because it wasn't really that appealing to me, to be honest. It's a pop of Kelly Kapoor, which I'm not entirely the biggest fan of Kelly Kapoor as it is, and I feel like they could have went with something very unique and different, like let's say Lady Gaga Gabe. I think if that was the pop that was here for New York Comic Con, it probably would have been in the top 5 pops for this list. The Dr. Finkelstein movable head bag. This is really cool. I like the idea that they actually did something involving Dr. Finkelstein for New York Comic Con because I did do a blacklight pop, I believe, for one of my predictions, but that obviously did not come true. So to actually have Dr. Finkelstein here in some sort of form in New York Comic Con is really, really cool. I like what they did, especially with the movable piece and how you can see the brain there for this bag. Really great job on Loungefly. The Asajj Ventress Loungefly bag, really detailed. A lot of people have been really wanting an Asajj Ventress Funko Pop, so I guess this is the closest thing we're gonna get right now to essentially an Asajj Ventress Funko Pop. Yosemite Sam and Black Knight outfit from Looney Tunes. This is really cool. Looney Tunes pops are always cool, especially for Comic-Con, and especially with a character that has not been made into Funko Pop form yet, like Yosemite Sam. The Mrs. Potato Head backpack from Loungefly. I really enjoy this. I mean, Mrs. Potato Head, you see her in Toy Story, but she's mainly in the Retro Toys lineup as terms to Funko. But I really enjoyed the way they did this backpack where you also have the different pieces that you can replace on her. I think that's really cool that people are able to do that when it comes to these bags. The Esmeralda backpack and wallet bundle. This thing is really, really cool. This is what I like when it comes to Loungefly, where they make the backpack very different compared to the wallet. With the backpack, you basically got Esmeralda's outfit with essentially the tambourine as part of the zipper, and then you have her goat pet that is actually the main thing of the wallet. So when you have two basically different characters involved for this, then it makes it much better in my opinion as terms to a Loungefly product. Emperor Joker from Batman. I really like the detail involved with Emperor Joker. However, even though I do like this better than a lot of the Joker pops that have been made before, there are some Joker pops that I still think are better than this one in my opinion. Guy from Free Guy. Really cool announcement to see Free Guy Funko Pops. I didn't really think that that was actually going to be a thing that Funko did, but it's really cool that they have it now, and I feel like this might be the only Free Guy Funko Pop, to be honest, because what else could you really do with Guy? Kearney then Jimbo from The Simpsons. It's always cool to see Simpsons Funko Pops for Comic-Con, especially when they make new characters, which is why it definitely shot up pretty high up on this list at this point, I would say. Kit and Doggy from Kit Bowl. It is really cool for Funko to actually start making Pixar shorts into Funko Pops, especially this specific short, which if you guys have not seen it yet, it's actually a pretty emotional short involved with the story. And I think the fact that they made it a Pop and Buddy definitely makes sense. They did a great job with both of them, especially with kind of the facial expressions that are pulled off without even having mouths on the Pops. The Toy Story Rex Mini Backpack and Loungefly Wallet Bundle. I mean, it's Toy Story. Obviously, I had to shoot this pretty high up on the list, especially because Toy Story on my wall here, but I think it didn't go as high up, obviously because, not only because it's Loungefly, but the fact that it's pretty much the same thing where you have Rex on the bag and the wallet. If they would have done something a little bit different for the wallet, I think it would have been up a couple of more spots, maybe even making the top 5 just for the sake of having Toy Story up there. The Luffy with Going Merry Pop Rides from One Piece. This thing is insane, and I know there are a lot of One Piece fans out there, and I have not seen the anime yet. I'm kind of behind on a lot of animes as it is, and this one is wicked. This is definitely one of my favorite pops that Funko has done for One Piece, and this is a contender for probably one of the top selling pops of this con, which I definitely had to put it high up because of that. Plus, it's just super appealing to me, especially with the boat involved also. I think they did a great job with this pop. Raphael as Red Ranger and Mikey as Yellow Ranger from the TMNT Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossover. I put it in that order mainly because I do like Michelangelo better than Raphael, although I do like the colors that pop off of the green much better for the Raphael. I do like both the posing and the facial expressions much better than what we had with the previous TMNT Power Rangers crossover pops. So they did a really great job with both of these, and I'm sure these are going to be huge sellers, especially Mikey. Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe. I had a huge personal reaction towards this because even though it is G.I. Joe and I don't collect G.I. Joe pops at all, it's the fact that they have Sergeant Slaughter, who is a former WWE superstar, but did have involvements with G.I. Joe in the 80s. So it's actually cool to actually see this possibility happen where you have essentially a WWE superstar kind of with a crossover with G.I. Joe and then make it for the Retro Toys lineup. I think that's really cool. Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. This thing is phenomenal. A lot of people have been wanting Attack of the Clones pops, and it's really cool that we have Anakin Skywalker Padawan version where he has the short hair and you have the braid going down the side there. They did an excellent job, especially him holding the 2 lightsabers as he is battling Count Dooku, I would assume, for this scene. I feel like I've never been so hyped for a Star Wars pop in such a long time like I have been with this pop, and I might actually consider getting this, which is why it's super high up on this list. Coming into the top 3 territory, we have the 5-headed dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! I was really pumped to see what I feel is the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Comic-Con exclusive Funko Pop. I don't really consider TargetCon as a con, so that's why I said that. I never obtained Tiamat from Dungeons & Dragons, which is pretty much how this mold was made, I would assume. But the fact that there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monster that pretty much has that mold doesn't make me entirely so upset that I didn't get Tiamat, because now I can get this, and it's for a set that I'm trying to get all the pops for, so that's also a bonus. Which, by saying that, obviously that means I will 100% be getting this, but the reason it did not show up, let's say, right at the top of the list is because I would have rather seen a different dual monster like, let's say, Karibo, or even Summon Skull, to be a part of this selection of pops, instead of having a character that I feel like not entirely everyone knows about, per se, but the detail and the way they pulled this off is really excellent. Next up, taking the number 2 spot would be Borat. This thing is great. I mean, the more appropriate words would have to be very nice. A lot of people are definitely going to be obtaining this because it's something that people have been wanting for a very long time, and it's very nice. And now that leaves to one more exclusive item from Funko to take the top spot for New York Comic Con 2022. And I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. Steve with the handy dandy notebook from Blue's Clues. This thing is an amazing announcement. And even though I am actually not going to be getting this pop into my collection because I've been very picky of what I want in my collection nowadays. The fact they made Steve for the Blue's Clues lineup is really cool. If you already have Blue, either the common or the flocked version from Hot Topic, you gotta get Steve to go hand in hand with Blue, or else it just feels so weird. This might actually be the most hyped pop as terms to the entire con. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video on the worst to best NYCC 2022 exclusives from Funko, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think is the worst and the best as terms to NYCC 2022. And as I said in the little intro, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.